Yo, 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 and welcome to Across the Hobby for the week of November 3rd. I'm your host, Adam Gray, and I'm grateful to have you at least begin listening to this episode today. The mission and purpose of every one of these episodes is the same, but every one of them is a little bit different. Uh, in general, the purpose of this is to talk about the very biggest sales and most important sales across the hobby from the previous week, and more importantly, to look at the biggest things and the things that you want to watch that you're gonna see this week that are gonna cause a ruckus. I also like adding a few other little stories and things here, and this episode is going to come with just a few stories. So I'm excited to give you all that. Today's episode does have to be a little bit quicker, and so we're going to try to keep it to an hour today. But you already know how long it is, so why am I telling you how long I'm going to try to hold it to? I don't really know. What I do know is that we're going to jump in real quick today, and we're going to start out with, again, the biggest sales from last week, and we're going to start with, like we do every week, with MC Sports Cards. So MC Sports Cards, we're just going to look from last week at items that ended over $5,000. There's a ton of them. We're not going to focus on all of them. You can see some big Jordan 86 Fleers right out the gate. And then we have this Ohtani from Donruss Diamond Kings, the rookie signatures out of 50. This is the sort of card that you look at now and say, how did the last few days after this item ended, how did that impact the value of this card? And I don't really know. What I do know is it's from 2018. It's a reminiscent design, something that you're all thinking about Donruss from the late 80s. At least I hope you are. If you're around my age, I know you are. But that's a beautiful card with a great autograph. Sold for $9,000. Another Shohei, $5,200. And then a card that is going to bring us to our first story of the day. So the Donald Trump 2012 Leaf Pop Century signatures sold for $14,350. It's an PSA 10. Okay, so I want to start here because there is a fellow who follows me on Instagram, and some of you may have noticed him before if you follow me on if you follow me, or just if you're in the world of cards. He messages me, or he puts a comment on so many of my posts saying, you need to talk about Donald Trump cards. You need to talk about Donald Trump cards. You need to, he just is always telling me I need to talk about Donald Trump cards. He tells me that the superfractor of Donald Trump is worth millions, and just, it's in every post. My posts are never about Donald Trump, but he's always talking about Donald Trump cards in his posts, or in responses to my posts. And for the most part, I've just ignored him. And I've ignored him. Let me clarify. I've ignored him because what I'm posting about is never about Donald Trump or about Donald Trump cards. If I'm ever talking about something that's even tangentially related to that, then I would engage. But a lot of times people sort of like, they really just blast you with these things, hoping to cause a frenzy, trying to get people enthusiastic and excited. And if it's done in sort of a fairly tasteful way, I don't always mind it. But when it's so overt, it's like weird to me. And this guy has done that. And so last week he used some profanity in one of his posts. I think he said something where he said, you need to go look at this. Why do you? And he swore, like, why are you always focused on these other things? Why don't you focus on this thing? And so I finally had to mute him. So I should have muted him probably a long time ago. But if you want a way for me to mute you real quick, it's to use profanity in my posts. The things that I create are often viewed by thousands of people. My son sees them. I have kids that follow me. It's always family friendly when it's with me, and you might not like that. It's okay if you don't. You're welcome to go listen to whatever you want to. But the moment that you become, you sort of step over that line of like, I'm going to talk like this, you will be ousted. You will be outed, or you'll be ousted. You'll get the axe. So there's your first story of the day. Another Jordan 86 Fleer, $9,900 on a PSA 8, PSA 7.5 for $77.83. Another big Shohei. Really an interesting Kawhi here. I've thought about this with the championship tags for a long time. There's really two classifications with the championship tags, whether they added to that number or not. And when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, he was an integral part of one of those 5 championships. So I really like this card for Kawhi. Kawhi's career is sure shaping up to be an interesting one. And so when you think about like what moments of his really matter, or does he really matter? I think those are good questions. He's one of the most talented basketball players in the history of the game. He is amazing. And he's got 2 championships from 2 different teams. And the one with the Spurs was awesome. What could have been had he just stayed with San Antonio? We say that so often. What if these stars had just stayed with their teams? But now here we are, and there's controversy, and it seems like there likely will be controversy going forward with Kawhi Leonard. Just an absolutely gorgeous Anthony Edwards eminence. This is one of the inserts called Crystal Clarity. And then the hardest to find PSA 10 of the set, this is the 9. The hardest card to find or sticker to find in the whole 86 Fleer product, and a 10 is the Abdul-Jabbar. So you knew that the 9 would sell for a lot of money. It's at $6,200. All right, and we can get into the stuff that's from last week, but that's it for last week's MC Sports Cards. Now we're going to look at last week's Hoodies Collectibles. Anthony Edwards, big, giant autograph patch, the rubies, the Star Swatch signatures of Anthony Edwards, sells for $15,000. An awesome Shohei. This is a Superfractor from 2023. The card looks like one of the older, what is this, 58 or 59? The All-Star card. Very, very cool sort of throwback to yesterday. A jumbo material of Sidney Crosby, $13,600. Wow, that is a cool piece. I assume that's game used. It's Upper Deck. Or no, it's not Upper Deck. Excuse me. Limited materials. Very neat card. $5,900 for the Tiffany Ken Griffey Jr. in a PSA 10. And then the manga. Manga stuff is going crazy, guys. Manga for $10,100. And that is it for Hoodies Collectibles from last week. We will briefly look at the big time weekly auction done at Fanatics Collect, and then keep going from there. So I want to show you guys, if you haven't looked at the weekly auction for Fanatics in a while, you may be surprised at some of the prices here at the top. But if you've been following the show, you won't be as much. $84,000 for the gold refractor out of Topps Chrome, not Bowman Chrome, Topps Chrome of Shohei Ohtani. This is a PSA 10, which is a Pop 11. This is a big deal card, and definitely a big deal card to see in the weekly. And being in the weekly doesn't put a ceiling on it, right? People used to say, well, the weekly cards will sell from here to here, and then the premier cards will sell from here to here. Now, they're throughout, right? They're just different strategies, different types of auctions. And I don't know always that one is certainly better than the other. What I do know is this is an $84,000 card that just sold at the weekly. And I also know that the top 3 cards from the auction are all Shohei. What's interesting to me about this one is that when last week started, in fact, you might remember, I might have mentioned this on Across the Hobby last week. I saw these 2 cards right next to each other, and I said, boy, that would be an interesting would you rather. Would you rather blue pitching autograph? Pitchings are all autograph, remember? But blue Bowman Chrome pitching autograph, BGS 95 with 10 autograph, or gold rarer, not autographed PSA 10. I thought it was a really good would you rather. It turned out they sold for the exact same amount. Top 3 cards in the auction, all Shohei. And then you get to the second row, and you get a Charizard and 2 Luka Flawless cards. A Luka Flawless from his rookie year, and a Luka Flawless from his most recent, where he's in an LA uniform. Everybody's going to have a different feeling on these types of things, but man, oh man, the more recent one is the better looking one. It is rarer. He's in a Laker uniform, but give me the rookie and give it to me all day long, because that's a game-used RPA. That is a game-used patch, a patch from a game-used jersey on a rookie card. Similar autographs. One's vertical, though. People really care. Some people do about this vertical thing. I am not one of those people, man. I've heard people talk about vertical cards like it's like this clearly better than the horizontal thing. And I've heard it for a long time, and I just disagree with it. I don't agree with it. But what I do see here is that the vertical card sold for more, despite the fact that it's not a rookie, but it is rarer and it is Lakers. So a little bit tough to sort of figure that out. 9.5 on the Jordan. Interesting to look at the subs there. I think it looks like 3 9.5s and a 9. 43,200. A card that we spent a long time on last week was this Tom Brady, this Autographics. One of his very few rookie autograph cards, a PSA 10 with 10 autographs, sold for $33,600. I think that's a great sale for that card. I also think that's a great card. There's very few Tom Brady's that I'd rather have than that one personally. The fact that it's a PSA 10 with 10 autograph is awesome. And I love that Tom signed that before he was the big deal that he ended up being. He signed that when he was Mr. Nobody still. In a lot of ways, I think that's a cooler story than a lot of his biggest cards. Yamamoto foil fractor with Ohtani ended on November 2nd. So ended yesterday. Ended after we already knew that, we already knew the history there. We already knew what was going to happen in the World Series. Boy, the greatest World Series that I remember. And I know we've had some great ones. I remember when the Cubs won in 2016. Boy, that was a great series. But this was the best series that I've ever seen. Maybe it's just that I'm getting older. I think this is the best World Series that I've ever seen. Love to hear what you guys think. Was it the best World Series you've ever seen? Let me know in the comments. Gold refractor of Shohei from 2018, Topps Chrome. Again, not an autograph or anything like that, but it is a PSA 10. Doesn't call out the population, which generally means it's probably not crazy rare. If it was crazy rare, it would probably be called out like this one is here. $29,400. A not super yellow MJ PSA 10, but not perfectly clear either. Almost 30 grand. Mookie with the gold refractor autograph, Pop 2, 1010, $29,400. And a Shea flawless game used. I said Shea. I meant Cade. Sorry, a Cade game used RPA out of flawless 2021, number to 25, but pop population of 4 does almost $29,000. Now, one of the cards that I wanted to highlight from Fanatics is I thought that this was a really big sale. Like to me, this is a really big sale. So this Luka Doncic right here is from 2021. It is not autographed. It does have that one championship tag right there. Remember that one championship came when Dirk was with the Mavs. And so Luka didn't have anything to do with this one. I always think, you'd rather have that player having added to that championship total. Well, the number 1 here is represented by that 20, whatever year it was that they won the championship, with Dirk and Jason Terry and Jason Kidd and Sean Marion. But Luka wasn't on that team. So what this is like a really cool tag from, and it is a championship tag for Luka from 2021. It's numbered to 2. It's not autographed. It's PSA 9. Sold for almost $30,000. To me, it's a really big sale for that card. I love this card. Number to 5, Star Swatch Signatures. A great looking patch here. Great looking card for Luka. Great autograph. I personally would way rather have this card than this card. I don't think it's close. And I love tags, but I'd love for the tag to have something to do with that player. And I'd love the autograph. No autograph. It is rarer, but it's the same brand. Give me this card all day long. And then a third Luka. Boy, we're seeing Luka all over the place. The mirror. Oh. Ooh. Well, that one stopped me in my tracks a little bit. Guys, this is a rookie autograph of Luka Doncic. I believe it's on card. It's from Certified, which used to be known as Totally Certified. They sort of rebranded to just Certified. I want to look closer at that one. I didn't know about this one. I think I'd rather have that than the other two. Just being real. Big Brett Favre sale, 99 Ultra. Not sure if this is one where we actually know there's 2 copies out there. Not sure on that, but $24,000. Big sale on the MJ, PSA 8 on the row 3 from 97. $26,000. Oh, I love this Luka. That's a great looking card. $23,400. And then the Michael Irvin Green. Saw the Wharf talking about this one. That one sold for $20,400. I don't know if it's the biggest Michael Irvin sale ever, but it might be. We could keep talking about this. We got to keep going though. Let's just highlight. I just want to see, is this on card? I believe it is. The early Luka autograph. Ooh, come on. On card signature. I don't know if it says rookie on here. It just says certified potential. It might be a rookie set. Card is signed on card. It says 2018 right on the front of it. It doesn't have a rookie. Doesn't say rookie or anything, but it is a black, mirror black, and it has that 1 of 1 right, big and bold on the front. Just tell you what I think. Not that it matters, but I like that card a lot. Compared to what the other Lukas are selling for, give me the 1 of 1 all day long. Now, does he have other 1 of 1s that is certified? I believe so, because I think he's got a black that's just like the parallel, and he might have 2 of those. So I would prefer those over this card. But you're talking about biggest Luka cards. I guess I could see taking the Star Swatch signatures over this, but I think I'd rather have this. I think that the line in that row was last place. I think I put this first place, put the Star Swatch signature second, and I'd put the championship tag third. And I love championship tags, but a rookie autograph numbered 1 of 1. That's a great piece. All right, so that's going to be it for last week's Fanatics. And now we're going to hit, okay, so the biggest auction last week, by far, by a long shot, was the Golden, what do they call it? The Golden Legends auction. And there's some real stories from this one that are so interesting. We can't take too long because we usually try to take about 20 minutes total for all of last week's. We'll hit all very briefly, but I do want to take just a couple minutes to hit some of these cards. So the first one up, let's see if Golden will work with us today on not shutting down when I click on things. We're going to talk about that Ohtani. A lot of people talking about this Jordan jersey autograph sale. We're just seeing a lot of interest right now in this market. Rare Jordan autographs from this era, specifically those 6 first Bulls jersey autographs. The higher grade ones continue to just see bigger and bigger numbers. And it seems that people are really, the investors are really interested in these cards based on their condition. Condition is a huge factor here, both in terms of the grade and in terms of the eye appeal on the autograph. The LeBron Kaboom, just a massive number, $353,800 for the Gold Kaboom, number 1 of 10. Certainly one of the biggest Gold Kaboom cards ever made, and has a case for being the best Gold Kaboom card in existence. And so it's not shocking to see it such a big number. What is really interesting is when you compare that, and I talked about this before the auction ended, when you compare that to his Prism Gold or Prism Black. Now, this is not from a significant year. 2022, 2023 is not considered, like, it's not obviously not a first year thing. But it is one of his very few Prism Blacks, right? He's got a true Prism Black starting in 2013 and going through 2024. And we'll see if he has any after that. It depends. It depends on if Panini is purchased by Topps. But assuming they're not, you get, what is that, 11 or 12 years total of black prisms, and it's one of those. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have the Kaboom Gold? I think a lot of people would rather have the black, but it is a first year. It is number 1. Like, those things matter. Another big Shohei right here. This is the Orange Refractor Pitching, BGS 9.5, 244. I had some people send me this. I had one friend send me this and said, see, this is a situation where the pitching didn't win. It should be more. It's not apples to apples, though, for sure. They are both out of 25. This one is a 9. This one's a 9.5. Would you expect this, if they were really equal, would you expect this delta to be greater? I think you would think it would be greater. But what I'd really like to see is the two sell together at the same time in the same grade with a similar autograph. That would be really neat. Big time sell on the Wemby. Wemby's super, super hot. And then just after this card ended, Wemby went out and laid an egg in a game and scored 9 points. I'm not sure that makes any difference. He's been completely dominant in the early season, but this isn't even a rookie. This is a Gold Kaboom, and it's a second year, and it sold for $177,000. Good for Golden. Great sale here. Great for the buyer. To me, that seems like a pretty high price, but those are just my thoughts. What do I know? Another card that we're really watching was this PSA 9 with autographs. We see this card pop up fairly often. We see PSA 10s of this card not sell super often because it's a pretty rare card, but we see them a couple times a year. My question was, what would you rather have, a PSA 9 with autographs or a PSA 10? There are more PSA 10s than there are 9s with autographs. I'm not sure. I really like this as an autograph card. This is an excellent example. It sold for roughly a third to a half of what a PSA 10 would sell for. I think that's interesting. I don't know if that will hold long term, and it's just something to watch. Already told the story on this LeBron, and then this Wemby. Boy, what a great card. The alien on the inscription, the championship tag, some people really like. I saw somebody on Instagram say that they thought this was a really ugly card. I don't. I think this is a really good-looking card. Just a reminder that people have different perspectives. I know that a lot of people really care that it's not NBA licensed, and I hear that, but it is a rookie year. They're the only rookie patch autographs game used. The only rookie autographs that you get are from non-licensed products. So something important to remember, that there are a big lot of star 5x7s, $170,000 on that. The Drake May Shield autograph. I don't know if that's the parallel of the rookie. I should know. It's sure a big number. If it's not, $165,000. NFL Shield. You know what? It says NFL DME. That is not the parallel. That is not, which makes you wonder, what is a Drake May worth right now? I don't follow football as closely as a lot of you guys probably do, and I think you guys probably know that by now. But what this tells me, $165,000 for the non-parallel puts the parallel, like the real big Drake May, the parallel of the RPA, that's the Shield autograph. That's a 7-figure card right now. Like, I think pretty easily, if this is $165,000. Lucky owner, whoever owns that. Another one we're really watching closely, the PMG Gold with the Jumpman MJ. A 1-of-1 PMG. You get one shot at a card like this, guys. $146,000. And then the box, the 86 Fleer box, $140,000. And then this Jordan Kobe Winning Materials dual, numbered out of 10. Really a great looking card. SPX is not really considered by most people to be one of the best looking sets. I think this is a great looking card. I think the autographs on here are great, been well preserved. The jerseys are great and numbered out of 10. Considering with a lot of these early duels have sold for, I think that's a pretty cool card and a pretty good deal. So many cards to hit here, but I just want to hit a few more. Look at the Skeens. We've seen this one sell before. $101,000 on this one, $109,000 on the Gold Power Cristiano Ronaldo, $101,000 on the Dynasty Shohei out of 10. And then one of the cards of the night, as far as like what I think a lot of people were watching, not because it's like the most popular card, but because it was like a what is that card going to sell for moment, is this Dennis Rodman 08 Chrome Superfractor. He has 2 regular parallel Superfractors ever out of Topps Chrome. I think if I remember right, and I did the research beforehand, it was 07 and this one, 08. And 08 is considered by many people to be the best looking. 07 and 08 are like the best looking photography years. And 08 has the design that I think is even more, is accretive to the value there too. So while I think it's not his first Superfractor, it is one of only 2. And Rodman's just so collected. Like, he's so collected. I did see somebody posting afterwards, like, see, this is a moment that's like a good moment for a non-playing days card. And I think they're right. I think that this is a great moment for a non-playing days card because this beat what some of his other 1-of-1s from his playing days have sold for. I think that it's not quite so easy as saying that, though. One of the cards that we've seen sell a couple of times is Rodman's 98 Ultra, the purple. And because it's sold a couple of times, that sort of acts as like a little bit of a negative. Like the first time it popped up, it sold really well. It sold for like $80-something thousand, but then it sold again within like a year or two. And that is a harmful thing. When you see something sell that close, even a couple years is not enough. A lot of times on rare 1-of-1 type cards like this, you don't want to see that thing pop up for 5-10 years. And when it does pop up, what it tells you is the person who bought it is typically somebody who wasn't a long-term sort of person. And people don't like buying cards that have been in flippers' hands. They want to buy cards that are, cards that you're only going to see every now and then. So that's one thing that I don't like about that comparison. The other thing, and this is maybe even a bigger thing, is that the purple masterpiece, there's known to be 2 copies of that. So that whole set, we just know that there was an additional set that was produced. And since PSA can't tell the difference between those 2 cards, they'll grade both of them. That's what they do, right? If they can't tell the difference, if they can't see that there's a notable difference, they will grade both 1-of-1s. You can argue, oh, they shouldn't do that. That's what they do. And I'm not so sure that's not what they should do either. I think it was up to the people who are buying the cards to understand that sometimes a 1-of-1 isn't really a 1-of-1. This one is, though. The Superfractors, we don't have situations where we're like, oh, there's 2 of those, at least with the regular Chrome Superfractors. So almost $100,000 for a non-playing days, but one of only 2 Chrome Superfractors of Dennis Rodman in existence. What do you guys think of that? Super high? What do you think? It's higher than I thought it would be. It makes me feel good about a couple of my Superfractors that I personally like a lot more than this one. I did have an offer on one of mine. It was a big one of mine. My Yao Ming, and the offer on that one was really significant. Sorry, I just got a message there that I had to check. But if you're somebody who owns a big Superfractor of a highly collected player, when you see a sale like this, it makes you go, ooh. So I'd point out a couple of things. One, Topps Chrome Superfractors are viewed significantly greater than other superfractors for basketball. Why? That's a really good question. We could dive into that for a while, but certainly it's true. And this is evidence of that. If this was a regular finest Dennis Rodman card, it's not selling for $100,000. It's just not. So number one, the chrome base superfractor, the straight up parallel to the regular card, that's like the key thing, right? That's one thing to know. And then the other thing I was going to say is, remember that for these guys that are like highly collected during this era, the most regular superfractors you get of any of them is 6, right? So if a guy's playing in 2004, take LeBron James. He's playing in 2004. He's playing in 2009. He has 6 regular chrome superfractors. And for those players, they are considered some of the very best cards of that player in existence by a lot of collectors. So if you're somebody like me who has a couple of those, you sort of go, how do I think about these? Like, I think for me, so I've got a Garnett from 07 and a Yao from 04. Those are 2 of their best for each of those guys. That's one of the best cards in existence. There's a guy right now. His name's Sam. I forget what his name is. Dark Horse something on Instagram. He had, I don't know if he still does. He has, and I think let's say has, because I think he still has it. The 05 Dirk. And I reached out on it to say, hey, what do you think? And it's not the best looking image of Dirk, but it's one of 6 Dirk supers. Dirk does not have a 97 PMG green, right? He doesn't have a PMG championship. He doesn't have those great 97 cards. He does have some great cards from 98, but he doesn't have PMG from 98. So like, what are the great Dirk parallels? Well, fortunately, Dirk played for a really long time. He does have a 2012 gold, but I would personally argue, I think you'd rather have a superfractor than a 2012 gold Prism. Some people are going to be like, of course you would, Adam. That's stupid. But people who love that 2012 gold set may not agree with that. I have an 07 Super of KG. I'll finish on this point because I know I'm belaboring this. I have an 07 Super of KG and a 2012 gold Prism of KG. I think they're probably worth pretty close to the same amount. I think. So it is kind of a conversation. I think the Super is a cooler card, though. I do. I think I like it better. 05 is a little bit different. Going back to that Dirk, I think 05 is the worst looking superfractor year, and I'm not trying to. That's a great card. I tried to buy it from him. Like, I really like that card a lot. I'm just sort of saying it as it is. So anyway, hope you guys like that, and then we'll do one more page. Also on this page, we got the Kobe Chrome Refractor. Always just going to look at the greening on that. Look at this Jordan autographed jersey. It's an authentic card. Take a real close look and compare this one with the one that sold for a lot more, and you may start to understand a little bit of why they sold so different. I think some people, in fact, I saw somebody saying, hey, this doesn't make sense. Why would this sell for so much more? Just remember that people have different types of tastes. The condition's really important to a lot of people. Like, really crazy important, especially people who are investing in like a fund, who are like making investments on behalf of the fund. And I think we're seeing some of that right now too. Investments for organized funds and maybe some funds that are not as clearly organized. I like this Jordan right here. The Master Collection's really cool. Bryce Harper Red's really neat. The LeBron gold refractor for gold Prism from 24 is really interesting. Massively outsells those ones from later years. We continue to see the ones from the earlier years are getting some really big numbers. Again, the PSA 10 also really matters. So I don't want to say this is an apples to apples situation. It's not, but those earlier ones seem to be doing, better and better. I don't know that I shouldn't imply that they're like stratifying. It's not that clear. But it does seem to me that those early ones are selling really well. I was watching this Jambalaya very well. This is a Min Gem, $63,000. First one of those we've seen in a while. One of the best Jordan cards in the world, but that autograph is super faded. $64,000 on that. $62,000 on the Steph numbered to 5 from 2022. Great looking autograph patch there. There's so much great stuff from this auction, guys. I'd love to go through all of it. Golden put on a really great auction, though. Massive congratulations to them. And then I just want to talk about this one just very briefly. The story here is just so interesting. And I talked about it as it was happening. This Shohei card in so many ways is like one of his most interesting individual cards. And there he was in game 7, losing the game. After playing a great series, but not pitching super well in game 7, there he is with one of his very most unique cards, this 52 style type card from Transcendent, 1 of 1 with the autograph, made his rookie year. Has sold a few times previously. Last time sold for like $250,000. We knew it was going to be a big number. There's no doubt about that. But to have him losing to win the card, and then as the auction, after the auction ends, to have them come back and win is really an interesting moment for the buyer. Because you wonder, like, are there other people who now are going to be higher on the card because they won? I don't know that there are, but I don't know that there aren't. Like, would it shock me if there was somebody out there who was like, gosh, now that they won, I'd be willing to do 650 grand for this card? It wouldn't surprise me at all. What I know is this: it's made the same year as the Bowman Chrome that everybody loves. And I personally think that aesthetically, this is far nicer than the Bowman Chrome rookies. I do. I think that. I think it's awesome. And again, coming at it from the lens of a basketball card collector, somebody who's not the biggest baseball fan, but who understands that Shohei is reaching sort of like cultural, understood and known culturally. It's just so interesting. Okay, we're gonna give 2 seconds to alt here. The LeBron Gold Prism, the PSA 10, the first time it's been seen in a long time. It has been sold, which means it has been paid for, 384 grand. The Mahomes rookie autograph PSA 10 gold from Prism, $231,000. And then Kobe Bryant's 2013 gold Prism. I think this is a Pop 6 that sold for $147,000. And both it and the Mahomes are still pending, which means they've not been paid for it to date. Remember, they just ended on Thursday though. Big time Brady 2021 gold Kaboom, $72,000. And then another card that I want to tell you guys a story on. So this is a great one. PSA 7 on this 84 Jordan. I've got to tell you guys the story. Okay? I've got to tell you. This might be my old copy of this card. I think there's a good chance it is. Okay, so some of you might remember this, but a number of years ago, a friend brought over a collection to me, and he said, "Adam, I just need help selling this. It's time. My father and I, we've kept this, for the longest time. We collected when I was a kid. We know that it's worth some serious money." And this was during the pandemic, and it was amazing. He had 3 Jordan Fleer rookies. He had a Jordan 101 that I sold to the one and only Frankie Gonzalez, Frankie 3500. So that's like his favorite card in his collection. It's because I found it in this collection, again, that had been sitting here in there, like underneath their stairs for years. And there was like dust and all this like stuff in the collection, but the stuff is just like largely untouched. Well, so my job during that time, remember, we were in a very different world back then. My job at that time was to help them to sell the cards. And at that time, the premium between PSA and BGS was a lot less significant, and we were still trying to figure out what was happening. I'm not sure if the ownership had changed at PSA yet, but it was just a different world. So I helped them grade a bunch of the cards. And some of them I graded with PSA through PC Sports Cards, and some of them I graded on my own with Beckett. And at that time, Michael Jordan Star Cards were not being graded by PSA, so there was no way for me to send the Jordan Star Cards to PSA. They had to go to Beckett. This is also during like when everything got locked down. So I sent everything to PSA, some stuff to PSA, some stuff to Beckett, but I still sent all of the Jordan Star stuff to Beckett. The main 101 card graded an 8. It was just immaculate. 395 subs and then a 7 or 7.5 sub on centering, and that made it grade an 8. I think I sold that to Frankie for $8,000. So what a deal Frankie got on that. And that was an arm's length transaction. That was a fair transaction. So at that same time, though, of all the cards that I sent in from this collection to BGS, there were 4 star cards that they were trimmed. Like they had marked, like, the card's not big enough, the card's trimmed. And it was the 2 cards from 84 that are not the main card, which is this one, the Rookie of the Year, and the USA card, and then 2 cards from the MJ only 86 star 10 card set. And they marked all 4 of them as do not grade. They're trimmed. Now, the funny thing about that is this: like, these friends of mine, were great people, really smart people, but they're not sophisticated in terms of like knowing, they haven't looked at these cards in 30 years. And well, I shouldn't say they haven't looked at them, but they bought them 30 something years ago. They still had like the bags that they were in. Like they still had the 101 bag, the original Bulls set. They still had the bag that the Jordans were in. And they just like had opened the bag and put the cards back in the bags. And so I was like sleeving them and sending them off and doing all that work. Well, Beckett says they're trimmed. Like I literally have a knowledge they're not trimmed. They're not. This is not a situation where they were like, we're going to trim these cards. It's just that these star cards, a lot of them are cut differently. And so I was so bugged at Beckett because I was like, I know these cards aren't trimmed, but I was really forced to wait because I couldn't send them to PSA. I tried sending them to COMC. COMC wouldn't sell them without being graded. And I tried to figure out like any number of ways to sell the cards, and I actually couldn't figure out a way to sell them. I was like, how do I sell these cards for these guys? And so I was left with the 4 cards that were ungraded. And I was like, what do I do with these? Well, at that time, like raw, like trying to figure out like what they could be worth and how to sell them, I was just like looking at all the other ones. I was like, I'll just give you guys $500 for these last 4 cards and we'll see what I can do with them at some point. Well, unbeknownst to me, PSA then like a year or 2 later opened up the opportunity to grade these cards at PSA. And I had this one right here, the number 288, along with the, the Olympic one. And I sent them both to PSA. If I remember right, this one came back a 7, and then the other one came back a 7 as well, I think. I might be remembering that wrong. I think that they were both 7s, though. And I put them up on my Instagram. I was like, hey, check this out. I just got these. And I felt like I'd won the lottery because I was like, gosh, I paid $500 for these things. They weren't even gradable back then. BGS said that they were trimmed. I knew they weren't. Waited, years. And now here they are, PSA's grading them. And so I was like, this is awesome. So I put them out on eBay. And then I got reached out to by Dave Zenzel. You guys probably know Dave. Dave's like the leader in these star cards. And he's like, Adam, I'll give you $6,000 for that card. Or maybe $7,000. It was this one. And I was like, gosh, that's a lot of money. I was like, you sure? That's a lot. And he's like, I would love to own your card, man. I just think that's a great card. And I was like, gosh, I do like it though a lot. And it was very clear to me, like, Adam, there's only 3 1984 star base cards. There's a 5x7 Court Kings, but like, this is a great card. This is a great copy of this card. It's not centered perfectly, but like none of them are. And it's been immaculately preserved, literally sitting underneath my friend's closet or in their underneath the stairs for all that time. But I was like, I could use the money and blah, blah, blah. And so I liked it. I knew that it was rare and I could see the appeal. I was like, gosh, it's an early Jordan star card. It's in great shape. But Dave needs it more than I do. And Dave knows what he's doing. And so I'm going to sell it to him. Fast forward a couple of years. We're talking 2-3 years. And that card has 10x, as you can see here. This is a $60,000 card. I think he gave me $6,000 for it. So, and you guys know, like I've done pretty well, right? Like I've turned my original investment of a couple $1,000s into my collection that I have today, which I'm super proud of. But that doesn't mean you hit on everything. It doesn't mean that you capture all the gains. It doesn't mean that you always time things right. I time things wrong all the time. I get things wrong all the time. So although I do the show and sort of say, hey, here's what my experience tells me, I'm wrong all the time, guys. And this is one of those great examples. All right, I went for freaking 38 minutes on old stuff. Man, sorry, guys. That's last week. Okay, I want to tell you a quick couple things for those of you who have still made it to this point. Based on the numbers, only about 30% of you, 40% of you make it to this point in the episode. So for those of you who've made it, I'll tell you a couple things here that are really interesting. I can't share too much yet, but you will see it you will see it tomorrow, I think. A couple of weeks ago, Heritage reached out to me and let me know that a big card is going to hit auction soon with them. And I am so excited about it. I'm so excited. It's maybe the most excited I've ever been for an auction. And you're going to find out about it today or tomorrow. And I don't know how many people know, but not very many people know. So that's your little tease. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to tell you there's a big card that's coming to auction, and you'll find out about it tomorrow, probably. So if you're watching this on Monday, on November the 3rd, You'll probably find out about it tomorrow, or at least sometime this week. So get excited for that. And then the other thing that I want to tell you about is I was on a podcast this week called the Courtside Investor Podcast. That is with the Card Boss 2021. And he is phenomenal. Like so phenomenal. He asked me such good questions in his episode, and it was a treat to be on with him. It was one of the best interviews I was ever part of. Everything he asked me, I was like, gosh, that was good. And I just felt like it was such a good conversation. Go check that out. If you get the chance, it's under an hour. But I really liked it a lot. So go check that out and go subscribe to him because he's great. Subscribe to me too, by the way, if you haven't done that yet. Subscribe to my YouTube. Go check out my Instagram at the Real 27 Guy. That's where I do most of my short form content and some live content and some stories and things like that. But all of my long form stuff obviously is on here. Okay, we're going to take about another 30 to 40 minutes to look at all the big items ending this week across the hobby. And we're going to start out with MC Sports Cards. MC has, I actually originally thought when I saw some of the stuff that was ending, I thought this might be their monthly showcase auction. It is unbelievable, but it's not. It's just their regular weekly auction. And we're going to get some of the stuff and you're going to go, oh, that was what Adam was talking about. Like, that's huge. But we're going to start off with Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo in this Eminence Duel championship tag set. Really interesting to see these types of cards made because neither of these guys were part of this championship, but they're both beloved members of the Heat. It's out of the last Panini era product. It's out of the highest end products of the Panini era. And you get two of those champ tags on the same card, numbered 1 of 1, $729. Allen Iverson case hit. This is the Downtown All-Stars card from 2024, $900. Great looking Sixer card right there. Paolo Banchero 1-in-1 Timeless Moments autograph, numbered to 99. This is Redemption, $296. The Luka Contenders Optic Rookie Ticket. It's an autograph. I love this card. It's a hollow. Man, I just think that's such a great card. Where his stuff, I'll tell you this real quick. His stuff in the Laker uniform is so popular right now. It reminds me of so many times in the past where people let go of the old stuff of a player where they're in the old uniform and then they collect the new stuff because there's a lot of Laker collectors, to be clear. That's why that happens. We saw this with Michael Jordan when he got to the Wizards. His Wizards stuff, you might not believe this if you didn't live it. His Wizards stuff was so on fire. It was one of the biggest moments in the history of the hobby when he announces, I'm coming back and I'm coming back to the Wizards. They made all like complete sets that were Wizards cards and people were so hyped about it. But in retrospect, nobody wants the Wizards stuff the same amount as they want that early stuff. Now, I'm not going to say that same thing's going to happen with Luka because he's so much earlier in his career and he can win championships with the Lakers, like mini championships. And maybe there will be this thing where people just really want him in a Lakers uniform. But that's a rookie card right there. The 2018 Contenders Optic is a beautiful card. You can see the RC seal right on the front. I believe the autograph's on card. Like, that's such a nice piece. I really like it a lot. Giannis 50 autograph, number 3. A logo man of Jarrett Allen, one of the better centers in the NBA today, and really nice card of Bobby Witt. Looks like it has an inscription on it. I'm going to look. No, I'm wrong. That's just the writing down below. The autograph does look really nice. I do want to look closer at that card. Check out this Evan Mobley Eminence. This is the Peerless Game Used logo patch auto. It's numbered at 1 of 1. You get the last part of Cleveland and the beginning of Cavaliers. Great autograph right there. One of the mistakes that Eminence made in their first product is they made all these great looking autograph patches and then they didn't name them. So whenever we were talking about them, even I, who like collected, I've got like some of my best cards in my collection are autograph patches out of that first year of Eminence. I don't even know what it's called. And that's such a miss by Panini. They just missed on it. I honestly think just naming those cards may have resulted in those cards being worth literally multiples of what they're worth. But they didn't miss here. You see that Peerless name. I love, this Shaq is very unique. Looks like it's from a signed jersey. And then obviously Shaq held and signed to this card as well. It's at $1,000. The Risa Shea, look how long Risa Shea is in this picture. The Downtown. Buzelis Hoops Nebula. Wow. So this is not a rookie. Oh, it is a rookie. I'm sorry, it is a rookie. I was thinking that he was rookie the year before, but I'm just being dumb. This is his Hoops Nebula rookie. That's actually a really cool piece, especially how popular he is right now. That'll be one really interesting to watch tonight, and that'll definitely go on my top 10 list for MC today. A Dirk autograph patch out of Eminence, really a crazy Mavs patch there. A 2018 Kaboom for Steph, big card, PSA 9s at $6,800. Tom Brady, this is a rookie, one of those few rookies that's numbered out of 100 or less, and one we don't see very often. $3,600 on that. Penix Jr. Gold Shimmer out of 10. Risache Wembanyama Dual. That's a really cool card from before they were licensed. 2 straight number 1 overall picks. Will Chamberlain, this is the inaction in a PSA 8. Card's pretty off-center, top to bottom, which tells me the rest of that card's incredible to get that an 8, to get an 8 grade on that. Great Mike Trout autograph right here. This is the Diamond Anniversary with 10 auto. Tom Brady PSA 4 on the autograph patch. Or sorry, it's not autograph, just a patch from Exquisite. I shouldn't say just I was really shocked to see it. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know he had one of these. It's because he doesn't have one of these. He just has patches. Tom Brady does not have autograph patches out of Exquisite. So if you want an Exquisite card, you're going to have to get, a patch card like that of Tom Brady. David Robinson, in the final year of Exquisite, signed this number pieces and also added the Psalms inscription to it. An authentic but looks like altered copy of Michael Jordan's 86 Fleer. And then one of the cards of the day that I'm really watching. Okay, so I just mentioned number pieces. So this is the number pieces single set, and this is usually what people think of when they think of number pieces for Exquisite. Then Exquisite did dual number pieces, and I'm just going to be really real. I don't really like the set. I love it aesthetically, but I don't like it because the guys don't work together. They don't fit together. Kobe Bryant's on a couple of these cards. One of them's with Tyrus Thomas, the guy whose career lasted like 3 years or something, and then was completely, not me trying to be rude to Bulls fans, but it was a disappointing career. His other one's with Moses Malone, an all-time great. But when you think about Moses Malone and like what great thing would bring him, would be in common between him and Kobe, it's just their jersey number. See, what they're doing here is they're saying both Kareem and Bird wore the number 33. Well, these two guys, like generally, those two guys don't really have a lot in common except for the jersey number, except for here, right? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Let's look at this card closer because I don't want to say something that then ends up not being true. But yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a Laker, is featured here, numbered 33, and Bird is obviously featured as numbered 33, and the card is numbered out of 33, and their autographs even touch each other, right? Jabbar's ends and Bird's begins. They better have graded this autograph a 10 though. Yeah, okay, good. This is fantastic. The patches are fantastic. The holofoil around the window is fantastic. And the connection here is simply that these two guys played against each other, I think it's 5 times in the finals. Like these guys are bitter rivals, right? You'd say, well, usually you'd want Magic on there. Well, that's true. Magic Bird is sort of more synonymous, but these guys played against each other so much. It's the Lakers versus the Celtics. And, Kareem's getting older now. He's still second all-time in the history of scoring, only passed by LeBron. And, he was so important to those Lakers teams. He's the captain. So seeing a card like this, guys, like this is the card that I looked at and I thought, this has got to be the monthly showcase, right? Just because it's such a nice example. I really love that. And although I don't like multiplayer autograph cards in general, I really like this one a lot. I think this is a really beautiful card and a card that like I would really personally like to own. Going back to this Bobby Witt, that autograph's phenomenal. Topps Dynasty, some of these higher end Topps cards, they've really gotten right over the last few years. You get the rookie shield, you get numbered out of 10. His autograph is perfect. Yeah, really a great looking piece. Okay, Sid SPX, numbered out of 499. Great piece. Camby, Rubies, great piece. CJ Stroud, Tank Dell, PSA 10 on the downtown horizontal. Chipper Jones from 96. Okay, this is the mirror gold out of Select. and you can see SP230. The reason that they write it out this way is it's not serial number to 30, but there's a print run of 30. And we know about the selects that whenever they do the big rare mirror sets, they generally said how many of them there were. This is what I recommend if you're interested in this card. Go look at the combined pop report. If it's available on GemRate, look at it there. If it's not, go add it up on your own. Go to PSA, go to Beckett, go to SGC. You pretty much just have to go to PSA and Beckett on these. You might get one from CGC or from SGC, but generally you get zero. Just being honest, like these cards are almost always graded by PSA or BGS historically. But for Chipper Jones from this era, when he was, coming up and when he was so popular, there aren't that many cards that are anywhere near this rare, right? This predates the very first precious metal cards. This predates the numbered rubies cards and, the credentials cards. It's older than those, but it's rarer than most of them too. It's just that it's not serial numbered. I wonder if they'll ever catch up, or I just wonder, if people just love seeing that serial number so much. Boy, I mentioned that Larry Bird that I liked earlier with Kareem. What would you rather have? That one where you get Kareem as well, or just a whole card that's dedicated to Larry where you get the bigger patch and the big, nice autograph that's nice and centered? I'm not sure. That's a good question. Magic number pieces, number to 32. Kareem, what is this? Saquon Barkley, 1 of 1 with the tag and the autograph. Kareem PSA 6 rookie with a 30% eye appeal sticker from either PWCC or Fanatics Collect. Look at this Kobe autograph. Opulence Championship Hall auto. Really a great looking card. What is this duel? The Undertaker and Kane. 2 big, tall, dark guys. Numbered to 1 of 1. Very cool. The 1985 Slam Dunk 5x7 and a BGS 8, $2,300. Scroll through down here a little bit more. So Reed Shepherd, 20 of 20. This is the gold first off the line. Great looking patch. Boy, what a big year for Reed Shepherd. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with him this year. A big time goal to Steph, guys. The 1-in-1 parallel number to 10. You don't see stuff like that as Steph pop up very, very often. You also get the 1-in-1, the gold 2024 1-in-1 of LeBron. I think this is just the regular issue card, but it might be sort of a special issue for his 40,000th point. You'll want to look at that. Is it a special issue? Is it just a regular card? I'm hopeful it's just a regular card, but yeah, definitely check that. It doesn't say, it just says 40K. You'd have to look in that one and check out the back. I'll tell you what, Eminence and Flawless made some of the single nicest Derrick Rose cards that I have ever seen. And this one right here, man, this is one of them. Look at this. Look at this patch. Look at the patch window and the foil throughout and the autograph. Autograph looks like it might hit the side of the card. I'm not 100% sure. But like aesthetically, that is just a ballin' card. And as much like I love the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander card. It's a great card, but compare it to that giant patch of that D Rose. An Eminence Priceless autographed troy ounce of gold. The thing that I always look at on this is what is the price of gold doing? Sometimes the card is actually pretty close to the price of gold. It's worth watching. LeBron in a Miami Heat uniform, along with Bosch, champions, diamond gold. So I might have a little bit of a different feeling on this. And people might say, well, that's based on what you own, Adam. But no, this is really a philosophical thing. I like this card. I think it's really pretty. I guarantee you the foil on this in hand is unbelievable. It's really cool for Bosch to be in a tandem card with LeBron because Bosch is such an important character in LeBron's career. And usually when you get these two, you also get Wade. It's nice for Bosch to sort of be more highlighted here. The thing that's wrong with it is that it wasn't made while they were with the Heat. So it's more of a cool commemorative thing. It's like we know that these two are going to be popular. We would like to make something that's really neat, after the fact. And although like I get it and I get why they did it and I understand why people would want it, I personally, and I think a lot of collectors do not see this the same way than if the card was made then. Like had this card been made in 2014, it would be really crazy cool to me. But it wasn't. It was made this year. It was made 10 years after. And I don't see that the same way. And other collectors disagree. Other collectors are like, no. Like In fact, I had a friend of me the other day say, he said, well, it's sort of like you're taking playing days to a new level. And I don't know what he meant by that. I mean, I do know what he meant, but I don't know if he saw it as a negative. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just saying how I collect, right? This is a cool looking card. It's very collectible. It is of two guys that I really like, and it represents an era that's really cool. But it wasn't made when they played together. And for me, I want to have the card when they played together. Those are my thoughts. That's just what I think. Cam Thomas, who knows how many points per game that guy's going to score this year. Chet Holmgren autograph patch out of Eminence. Great looking card. Wemby signature out of Topps Now. Marshall Faulk. Ooh, this is the Precious Metal Gems. Sort of a little bit harder to see on these NFL PD cards. Shaq dunking over all sorts of people in his 98 Ultra Platinum, the second year that they were numbered. Champ tag on the Dirk. I always will point this out, man. So again, this is not a playing days card. So that's something that has going against it. Can't lie. But listen, in my lifetime, there are just a few championships that will always stand out as like, wow, that really just happened. And Dirk's championship with Dallas is really at the top of that list. I go back and forth with like whether it's the most memorable championship, because Dirk had never won one, and he had to go against just a litany of difficult teams. If I remember right, he plays, is it the Spurs and the Lakers, I think, in his first two rounds? And then he plays the like young Oklahoma City Thunder team that was supposed to take over the league forever, beats them, goes against LeBron and that Heat team in their first year together. You're supposed to just get absolutely trounced, and he walks his way to a championship. Now, to be clear, this is not a one-of-one, and that some people will view that as like, oh my goodness, like I don't want this card anymore. To me, what it means, it's certainly worth less not being a one-of-one. There's no question. But if you wanted a Dirk championship tag card to represent that one big championship that Dallas has, you'll notice there's no number next to it. It's because there doesn't need to be a number next to it. They only have one tag. They only have one championship. If you wanted one of these, I'm not sure you're going to find a better deal because it's out of 5. Now, it is a super high-end product, so maybe that's going to hurt it in terms of like it might be more expensive because of that. But like, if you're ever going to get into one of these, that might be your shot. East-West Kobe and a PSA 9, $6,000. Here's the PSA 5 of the USA card that we was talking about earlier at $4,100. I love this Baron Davis card so much. I had no idea it was at auction. That's going to be a really interesting one to watch tonight because this is a parallel to his serial number to his jersey number. It just so happens that his jersey number is 1. I need to confirm that, but I believe that this is just the jersey. I think this is just a jersey number set. And so I think Baron's just number 1 in that, but I need to confirm that. Definitely check it out. I love this Kevin Garnett. What is that piece of jersey from? I do have to look at that. It almost looks like it might be like a USA jersey or something. It's probably not. I'm probably wrong. PMG Gold. It's always a big deal in hockey. Clayton Kershaw. Boy, what a week for Clayton Kershaw, man. $2,100 on that card. Giannis, exquisite rookie. Ray Allen, rubies. Man, we could keep going, guys. I love this trophy case, Steph. This is awesome. I do think that looks like it's on a sticker, which is unfortunate, but still the rest of the card's really awesome. Is this my old card? I think this is my old card. No, it's not. I had one of these. Mine was also graded an 8.5. I can't remember if this one's mine or not. I don't think so. Isn't it terrible when you can't tell? My autograph looked very similar to that. I think this might be my old card. I think it is my old card. I think I'm the one who got that one graded. So that's fun. So this Vince card is really interesting. Vince, and this is why I had it, Vince didn't have autograph patches in 03 or 04 Exquisite. So if you're an Exquisite guy and you like first year Exquisite stuff, you're not going to get Vince Carter autographs or patches. He might have some jerseys, actually. He might have jerseys and patches. What he didn't have was autographs, for sure, until you get to 05. And in 05, you get this number pieces, and then the best part of Vince Carter and number pieces is that he's got a pretty low jersey number. So would you rather have him in a Raptors uniform? I think most people would. But he wasn't with the Raptors at this point. By this point, move on to the Nets, where he had some of the best success of his career. That's a great card, guys. It's a great, great piece. And I'm 90% sure that's my, I shouldn't say 90. I'm fairly certain that's my old copy of that card. This, it's green. That's yeah, it's all right. My eyes are not great. I have to sometimes blow things up so I can see them. It's obviously green. It's obviously a Celtics piece. We already talked about the Bobby Witt. Okay, we've gone long enough on this. There's so many great stuff at MC this week, guys. All right, let's now move on to one of absolutely my favorite cards of the weekend. Interesting because I don't usually get to preview something twice, but this Drew was already over $10,000 or already over $5,000 last week. So we looked at it then, and we looked at the Manga LeBron. They're both up. See, this is where, to me, the hobby is just insane. Manga is rare. People like it. It's cool. It's got a neat design. People, some people really like LeBron, although a lot of LeBron stuff isn't doing very well. It's at $18,150. And I get it. People think it might be like one of the inserts of the era. It's ultra rare. It's from maybe the last year of Prism ever, depending on what happens with Topps and Panini. And it's the guy, right? And so it's like all of these things, and it's a PSA 10. Like, this is the best Drew Holiday card in the whole world, though. Yes, I'm comparing the two here. I would, by so many miles, rather have this Drew Holiday card. Like, there are thousands of LeBron James cards that I would rather have over this one. No matter how much I like this card, there's certainly like I'm not going to take it against his best rookie stuff or his best, his like superfractors or his rarest Prism Golds or his Logo Man or his like a bunch of his exquisite stuff, or like there's so many cards that I would rather have of LeBron, and that's like the very obvious stuff, But the market, as of right now, has this 80% higher than this. It's mind-boggling to me, but it just goes to show like the value of this sort of case hit, rare insert, animated or illustrated card thing, like in the value of the PSA 10. People just go crazy. But Drew Holiday, probably going to be a Hall of Famer. I think very likely going to be the Hall of Famer. One of just 6 guys in NBA history to win championships for 2 different teams and have 6 all defensive teams. And the other 5 guys, 3 of them are already Hall of Famers. The 2 that aren't, besides Drew, are named Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. This is from the very first year of National Treasures. It's the highest level of his rookie card. In fact, I want to just check this with you guys real quick. Because I didn't check this the other day. I want to check this. If you go to Card Ladder, here's what I want to look up here. What's the highest selling Drew National Treasures ever? Not like even referring to, not even referring to like the highest selling Drew ever. I just want to know what the highest selling of his RPAs is ever. So if we just type in Drew and National and then sort by highest, we're going to get a number that's certainly in the 4 figures. Okay, so he has a National Treasures that's not from his rookie year. It's a Logo Man autograph. This sold for $6,000. Again, not a rookie. Compare the autographs. The other one's going to be nicer. And here's a rookie Logo Man auto of Drew Holiday. And you look at that and go, ooh, maybe this is a really good comp, Adam. Well, we're going to take a real close look at that. And we're going to show you why that might not be a very good comp. And then $3,000 for this card. So we got to look at each of these 2 cards real quick here. Okay. So number 1 is this one. This one, which is a Logo Man autograph from National Treasures from the first year. And this is a great card. I don't want to belittle it. The autograph is on a sticker, guys. The card is serial numbered out of... What's it serial numbered out of? 5. This card isn't in the same world. Not even in the same galaxy as this card. It's not even in the same... Like, it's nowhere near the same thing. I want to highlight this to you guys. Some people love vertical over horizontal. You guys know how I feel. I really couldn't care less about that. But like 1 of 1 parallel of the regular card, right? You can see number 216 right here, right? You'll see this card right here is going to be number 216. See, this is the regular rookie card, but this is the gold, which means there's 25 of these. It's got this great patch. But again, not game used, like NT never is. It's like a photo shoot jersey. Great autograph though. 9.5 sold for $3,000 at some point. I didn't even look at the date. And then you have this card, which is I would rather have this card than this card because it's a Logo Man. I say that though, not thinking that everyone would necessarily like this one more because it is an autograph on a sticker. But this card way outsold this one, like way more, over twice as much. Again, I didn't look at years, so that could have an impact. But then you have, this on card, amazing autograph, the logo man, the parallel of the rookie. It's one of one. So I'm just gonna say, like, be real. If this card is, how much was it? If this card's $5,500, to me, this is like you can't really do math here. I'm not going to give you a number that's just like, this is what you should do. But to me, this is not just to me, this is the Jrue Holiday card. To me, this is like a card that if I was a Jrue Holiday collector, this would be like the card that I would do anything to get. It's just this and the Superfractor in the conversation is his best card. I think it's this one. You can make the case for the Superfractor. I think it's this one. You can make the case. Those are 1A and 1B. That's it. It is so much nicer than this card and this card. And granted, yes, it's already priced in that it's nicer, but not like, again, I like, if I was a Jrue Holiday collector, this would be the card. And I'm really interested to see what it sells for tonight. And I could talk about this one all day long, but I probably belabored it at this point. But I know, for those of you guys who haven't listened to me for a long time, I'm a big Rudy Gobert fan. I love the Utah Jazz. I have like some really nice Rudy Gobert cards. He has 2 logo man autos from his rookie year. One's National Treasures. I think this one's Immaculate. The National Treasures one is not nearly as nice looking as the Immaculate, and so I've really tried to get the Immaculate over the years. And I made some crazy offers. Like I offered like $25,000 worth of stuff once. The guy wouldn't take it. He's asked for like my Kobe limited logos, which is like one of the nicest Kobe limited logos in existence. He's asked for things that are like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm like, why are we doing, like, why won't you just let me buy this card from you from something that seems rational? But I really want it, and I've been after it for like 9 years. To me, that card for Jrue Holiday is this card, and it's the only one that's like this. It's the only, if I was a Jrue Holiday collector, there would be only 2 cards that I would just be like, that's the card that I have to figure out how to get. They're at the very peak of the mountain, and it's this one and the Superfractor. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it right now, but I'm excited for the moment because we rarely see a player who's been as successful as Jrue have their best card at auction. So we'll see what happens tonight. Okay, let me go back to hoodies real quick because I think there's some other great cards. eBay's doing that weird thing where they sort of show you the same card twice, but those are the main cards that are up this week at hoodies. Okay, now let's go to Golden. Golden's weekly auction ends on Thursday. And I'm going to sort by highest first, and we're literally going to look at like the first 20 cards, first page. Should we be shocked that if Shohei's in number 1 and he's in number 2 and he's in number 3? We shouldn't be shocked. Number 4 is the Kobe in a 9.5. Looks like pretty decent color on that Duncan Go Nuts. Not perfect, but pretty nice. And then one of the most interesting cards to me of all, the 2023 National Treasures, Victor Wembanyama. He has 2 cards in the rookie set. One has a big piece of patch that is not game worn, and the card is not autographed. Now you could get that card signed. Maybe Victor would sign it for you. I'm not sure. What I do know, this card right here is earlier in the set. It is also from the base set. It also features the rookie logo. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure that it features the rookie logo. I don't want to say. I think it's right toward the bottom of the card. But I like this more than the patch. The patch sells for way more. Why? I think because people have lost their minds. I don't understand why. Yep, right where I thought it would be. Number 20 of 99. Like, I love this card. And it's a Gem 10. I don't get it. That's Wemby's rookie card out of the brand that's sort of considered like the high-end brand of the era. There's 99 of them, so it's not the rarest thing in the world, but it's not common either. And it's a 10. I think this card's awesome. If I was willing to bet on Wemby at this point, that would be the Wemby card that I would want to own. a first edition LeBron in a PSA 9, a Wemby silver. Oh, I love this Jordan. I've always loved this Jordan. I've always wanted. I've actually never owned this card. I say actually, like what I say that because the only Jordan refractors that I think I've never owned. I never owned the Golden Boss refractor from '97. I never owned this card, and I think that's the end of the list. I think those are the only Jordan refractors that I've never owned. I love Jordan refractors. I love Jordan inserts more, but you look at the prices on them and sort of say, this one to me is just, it's fantastic. Check it out for greening. There is greening on those cards. So look closely at that. And then we get to a 1928 Gehrig that's hand cut and a Kobe chronology. I helped Upper Deck do a signing on this for one of the rookies this year. And signing these patches was just a mess. This patch is not game used. It's a manufactured patch, and it was tough for these guys to sign. That would be an interesting one to look at. Okay, so we looked at the Wemby. We'll look at Alt. Alt has this LeBron, to me, is of the top three, is the most interesting card. It's also the highest priced. Game used RPA, right? That patch is game used. It's from the first year of Exquisite. It is not viewed the same way that the 1 out of 99 is because it's not from the base set. It's not the base RPA. It is, however, the jumbo patch from the game jersey. It's got a great autograph on it. It's graded a 9.5 with a 10 auto. It's numbered to 75, so it's actually rarer than the RPA. It's not worth as much, but it's rare, and it's kind of got all the factors except for it's not from the base set. This triple here is a lot nicer than some of the other triples we've seen lately, and that the autographs look like a really good high quality. The only thing that's negative about this is it's really hard card to photograph, but Alt has done a tremendous job here. And then a Kobe Bryant logoman. Whenever one of these pops up, it's a pretty big deal. It's from the second year of National Treasures. It's numbered 2 of 2. That'll be one to watch because there's certainly a few people out there right now who are looking for Kobe logoman cards. So that'll be one to watch. My friend Darius is green. T-Mac, really surprised to see him sell this. I think as far as crazy Raptors stuff, there's very few cards that are that 90s Raptors era with the great jersey. In fact, I would just go out on a limb and say there's not another card that really stands out to me more as like a wow, that is the 90s. That is the 90s when it comes to like these Raptors jerseys. Yes, T-Mac sitting down. Some people were like, I wish he was doing something. Yeah, it's a great portrait of T-Mac. Young, rail thin T-Mac, numbered to 10. Really a high grade on this card. Really surprised to see Darius sell that card. Really, really surprised at that. A 2013 Flawless Kobe autograph, second year of Flawless. I think they made 10 of these in 2012. They probably made 10 or 20 of these in 2013. So it's a 1 of 1, but it's not, there's more than one team Panini Kobe in the set. Maybe there's 5 of these actually. Go look at that. Don't just trust what I said there because I don't know. I know there were 10 in 2012. I don't know it. I'm pretty certain though that there were 10 different cards for the team Panini because they had 5 guys. It was Katie, Kobe, Kyrie, Anthony Davis, and Blake Griffin in 2012. And they had each of them sign 10 regulars, 5 golds, and then 1 platinum. But they each, 10, 5, and 1. But there were I think there were 10 different cards in the set for each player. I think. I could be wrong. But for 2013, how many were there? Worth looking at. Either way, and let's just be real, either way, it's from the highest end brand of that year. It is a 1 of 1. It has all of the holo foil. It's a great card. Look at this LeBron. I've seen this one, I think, before. I think 9.5, 10. Autograph looks pretty blue. Really nice patch. I have long argued this is the nicest looking autograph patch set ever, and nothing to me has surpassed that. Not a lot of Clay Steph duels. That's one of the really nicest ones. Oh, hey, here we go. We got both the 04 LeBrons. It's interesting. The nicer patch is sitting quite a bit less. It's a far nicer patch though. What if the autograph's not quite as nice? Kobe 03. Man, we got multiple Kobe limited logos. Here's the 03. Here's the 06. 03 is numbered to 75, but it's the first year. Kobe 2013 Kaboom. This is where, again, the hobby just loses their minds to me. This card, there's only 75 of them. It's a great patch. I know it might not be as great looking as a lot of other cards, but the significance here, but the hobby right now has this almost bid up as high as this. I did want to talk about this card here real quick. look at it briefly before we move on to these other guys. Oh man, an hour 15. I'm taking too long, way too long. That's okay. So 2024 flawless triple of these three. These are the three championship tags. So it's really an interesting card. All three of these guys added to those championships. Steph's 4 of those 7. Giannis is 1 of those 2. And LeBron is 1 of those 17. And so I like that all three added to it. I like that the championship tag thing hasn't been way overdone in this era. We're probably going to see Topps do a lot of this stuff. But in the Panini era, there's only a few of them. In fact, the end of the Panini era is the only time where we've seen this sort of like multi-tag thing going on. Obviously, it'd be great if there were signatures here. That was never going to happen because LeBron was never going to be signing for this. In some ways, it feels like, wow, we need to use these tags. Let's get rid of them. In other ways, it's like, but these are 3 of the guys of the era. Would this card be worth more if it was just Steph and LeBron? Probably. Even though Giannis is like an all-time great, Steph and LeBron is sort of a different classification. It's worth thinking about, all of those things. Those are sort of my general thoughts on it. Okay, and then Fanatics Collect. We're going to hit Fanatics Collect and Card Hobby, and then we're going to be done. For Fanatics Collect this week, we start off with MJ, Tom Brady, and Wemby. Boy, what a trio there at the beginning. Wemby, remember, this is not his regular Prism. This is his Deca. His Deca is a better looking card, I think, according to a lot of us. It reminds us of 2012, though 2012 did not have a black gold. It did not have a black either. It did have a gold. It is a great looking card. Wemby's the ball extending just out of view. Number to 5. Really big piece. Brady in the 7's a big deal, and a 9.5 on the MJ is obviously always a big deal. Here's a Michael Jordan that is really grown in recent years, but is worth what it is specifically because of the rarity of the grade. You can find this card in a lower grade for a lot less money, but in a 10, you're going to have to pay up. A Ruth, the yellow background Ruth in a PSA 3 at $12,500. A big Wemby. This is the King Snake, not numbered, but obviously pretty rare to be at $10,500. It's worth looking at the population. Whenever you don't have a serial number, especially look at the population. But I would say always looking at the population. Much like this record collection, this Special Forces MJ is worth what it's worth because of the population. Those mid-90s Stadium Club, I will tell you, those inserts with the foil on them, they are murder when it comes to the edges and the corners. So is it shocking to see this at PSA 10 or PSA 10 Pop 7? It is not. Tom Brady in a BGS 10 pristine on the chrome. Don't see those every day. At $9,000. Luka and Steph duel. One of the 04 messy rookies that you don't see as much. And then a regular Steph chrome at 9.5, sitting at $8,500. Is that a min 10 or min 9.5? It sure is. The surface is a 9, but it's numbered out of 999. And at this point, the PSA 10, not BGS 9.5, but the PSA 10 of just the regular tops is quite a bit more than this. So Kobe, this is the KB version, which the initials are numbered out of 25. There's versions of this numbered lower that have different windows on them. Ohtani's purple autograph, Topps chrome. You want to get an Ohtani rookie that still has great eye appeal, but does not kill you financially. This one might be a great option. And then a PSA 2.5 on the Mantle rookie. Man, another great week for Fanatics Collect. Let's look at the second page real quick, just to see if there's anything that really jumps out as like super unique. These Ohtani autographs have obviously been doing a lot of big things. That MJ, the USA, is obviously a big card. I love this MJ right here, though. Boy, the second page I might like it more than the first page. The one of a kind from 97. And serial numbered MJ that people don't think about, but they should. This is the first year where Stadium Club gave us a serial numbered parallel. Looks pretty similar to the regular card, except for it's got a little bit of a different surface. This card is all about the image of MJ. I think this and the 98 Topps Chrome, the previews, are the best like back MJ images that come immediately to mind. Great looking MJ image here, though. And because it's the one of the kind, it sort of like mutes the back and accents the image of MJ on the front. It's one that's worth looking at. And then this LeBron, I think this one always suffers because he's wearing a face mask. Got a face mask in the card. But this is the number pieces. LeBron, number pieces from the year before is a 6-figure card. This one will not sell for 6 figures, but it's a great grade and it's a great card. I mean, in hand, it's just a beautiful, beautiful card. He's wearing a face mask. It's still LeBron. A lot of times you see that one go for a little bit less than you'd expect compared to the other ones. And I think it's because of the face mask, but I don't know if that's right. I love the design and I love the concept of the set. Anytime you get a set that's a number to a player's jersey number, that's always interesting to me. Shohei Finest Mystery Auto. Boy, that's a great looking autograph. 10/10. Barkley Red 5. Oh, this Steph is really neat. This is that every game, every player, or every team patch. You can look up this number right here and find out what game he wore this jersey in. It's got the autograph, the Eminence slab. That's one to watch this week for sure. Oh man, this Gretzky too. Oh, I love this Gretzky. Pop 1 of 3, 5 graded higher. It's only a 6, which means there's probably not too many more than 8 total graded. Number to 100. This is the 98 StarQuest Gold. They did this across other sports. It's not like incredible aesthetically, but it does have the foil. It came out of a dollar pack. Like this was as low a dollar pack as they made at this point. UD Choice, formerly Collector's Choice, then later UD Choice. Cheap, not expensive, impossible to pull stuff like this. A lot of this stuff ended up in like binders and boxes of little kids. Most of it discarded, thrown away. As far as rare Gretzky inserts, it doesn't get much better than that one. And then, of course, the 2002 stickers of Ronaldo. A couple big Hank Aaron's with a Shohei Transcendent Super autograph. Look closely at that autograph. Kind of an interesting one there. Look at that. Make sure it looks like you want it to. Either way, it is a Shohei Super from 2021. And you rarely see this Kobe autograph. I love it. I've always loved that card. $4,100 on that one right now. And then the Alifa Boulanger Pele, probably the most iconic, older soccer card in existence. LeBron Kaboom is always going to be a big deal. Has an eye appeal sticker for a modern card. Don't see a lot of those. They're not giving a lot of those out yet. And then, man, I love this second page. I might even have to do a third page. The second page is so good. Gosh, I'm out of time. MJ Platinum BGS 9, Pop 1 of 11, just 2 graded higher. This is the first Platinum set. And then Shaq is not an active player in this 2013 Prism set. Obviously, this is 21 years after he was drafted. He was long gone at this point. But he only has so many Prisms, right? He only has so many Prisms, and people are still going to put together that Prism Gold run for Shaquille O'Neal because he's beloved. It's a PSA 10 as well. That'll be an interesting auction to watch because Shaq is as hot as he is, and Prism Golds are as hot as they are, and it's a PSA 10. I know it's not playing days, but that will be an interesting one to watch. Okay, we're just going to quickly fly through here. I love this MJ electrifying insert. I always have. It's gorgeous. Neek in a PSA 10, PSA 7.5 on the Ryan rookie. Josh Allen White Sparkle, Pop 13. Kaboom, Caitlin Clark, probably seen quite a fall on those. You're going to get that way cheaper than you used to be able to get it. Numbered out of 23. This is the ultimate silver or ultimate gold on this MJ. Wow, that's a sneaky MJ card. Everybody loves this Brady because he does not have a lot of patches from this era, but this is a great big patch. Jordan's autograph here is a little bit faded, maybe a lot faded, but it is a 2001. Take a close look at it. It might be not as faded as I thought. That might be a holder issue. Take a close look at that one. Long autograph. Number or Pop 6. A Russell rookie in a 4 is nothing to scoff at. This Jordan refractor is just plagued with all sorts of issues. A PSA 8 on that's great grade. Luka Dirk should have been a forever Dallas combination until Dallas did something that will never ever make sense. And then a Gehrig DiMaggio dual cut signature, a dog food Mickey Mantle card came out of dog food pack. And that's going to be it for Fanatics this week. We will go quickly to Card Hobby, which every week gives us just massive, massive cards. Boy, the Monopoly Steph Castle. What is this? I got to look closely at that. This Anthony Edwards is crazy. Make these bigger. crazy Anthony Edwards autograph patch, crazy autograph patch of Steph Curry, a Kobe Bryant impeccable autograph number /15. I love this Kobe right here, and I'll talk about that one here in just a second. Another big Ant and Mbappe, a Shea NT RPA. Don't see those every day. Dillingham Cade duel out of Flawless. That's a really cool looking card. A Messi autograph. Really cool Steph autograph. This is a cool card at Eminence. Steph and James Harden. Two of the greatest shooters of all time. You might not like James, but he's still one of the greatest shooters of all time. There's no doubt about that. Logo man of RJ Barrett. Just autograph patches and Flawless and Eminence and exquisite stuff like crazy here on Card Hobby this week. The horizontal Donovan Mitchell number /10. See, from my perspective, that was back when horizontal cards were crazy cool. Actually, wait a second. I might be wrong. I think this one might be this might be the year after. This one's not numbered /10, is it? I think I'm wrong. I think I started to say something that wasn't true. Yeah, I was. This is numbered /25. It's the year before this, I think, where they were still tougher, numbered /10. This Kobe right here, I'll tell you why I love this card. As soon as I see it, I immediately see the gold. If you haven't ever looked at Chronology, Chronology cards are just really nice. The matte surface, the border, but the surface itself, the autograph, just it feels different because it's almost like it sits on top of the card. So Kobe held this completed card in hand and then signed it. And so Chronology cards are really cool. But there's a lot of these. Like Michael Jordan signed 99 of some of these. Kobe Bryant signed 99 of some of these. This one to me immediately stands out because I can see that gold foil. And so, and you look at that, like that's just crazy. It's just a great looking card. And then see how it says Timeless Memories down here. So when you look at the back, you're going to see the card's numbered out of 10. You can also notice the stock is very different. Not the stock, the color, like just the color is like more of a gold color around the card. And then, I'm mistaken. I thought that the Timeless Memories said, it does. Yeah, it's down here. Thanks in part to a clutch overtime performance in Game 4 of the 2000 NBA Finals, Bryant helped the Lakers defeat the Pacers in 6 games to claim their first of 3 consecutive NBA championships. So this is the image, Kobe going against, that might be Artest. Maybe not. Artest would have been in his rookie year that season. But numbered out of 10, gold really just stands out. Guys, we're so out of time. I'm not even going to take you through what my favorites were this week. What I will say to you guys is I always appreciate you for watching. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for subscribing. I can't believe how much you guys like the show. I'm always shocked to get the messages like, hey, I love this. And again, I always tell you guys, even though some of you won't do it, please just leave the comments below. It helps the engagement, helps the thing to be seen by more people. Please share. Please just copy a link and say, hey, I saw this card that you might be interested in, and send it to a friend. This is a busy week for me. I'm not sure how much stuff I'm going to be able to do with you guys, but I'm going to do definitely some content this week. I hope you guys are well. And until next time, happy collecting.